Hi, welcome to the Badass Breastfeeding Podcast. This is Dianne, your lactation consultant and mother of 3. I am the mother of Nathan, who is 25. He's soon to be 26 this month, which is crazy to me. He's going to be off my health insurance. And Jessica and Brandon, my twins, are 23. They're going to be 24 in November. So my kids are 2 years apart. My 3 kids are 2 years apart. They're very close in age coming up. So anybody who's got kids that are close in age, I feel ya. I get it. And I'm your lactation consultant and maternal child health specialist.
Yeah, whenever people have kids really close together, which Jack and Exley are under 3 years apart, just under. You have toddlers, multiple toddlers.
Yes.
It's just, that's like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like having you got like a bunch of squirrels got in the house.
Oh my God, I know. 3 kids in 2 years. It was a lot, man.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Abby, the badass breastfeeder. And I have Exley, who just turned 12, and Jack, who is going to be 15 at the end of this month, end of July. And I have a social work background. And I worked with children in the child welfare system until the day before I gave birth to Jack. And now I do this.
This is it.
Just this. And today's episode is brought to you by Original Sprout. Original Sprout is still running. They're 50% off styling products, which you got to go take advantage of. Mm-hmm. Because pretty soon they're going to switch it to something, which will be exciting. But the styling products, this is where you got to go buy something for yourself, because they have the detangler, you can use that with your kid, but go get some stuff for yourself.
I know.
They have just stuff, you're postpartum, you're like feeling whatever. They got the protein mist, hair mist.
I love that.
Which is, it's just like a little something for yourself.
And they all smell so good.
They do smell good. I know. Really I have a few things in different places and I'm like, well, I'm standing here today, so I'll use this one. And, you can find our sponsors, all of our sponsors at badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com. If you ever need anything, see if you can give any of them your business, because they make this podcast possible. While you're there, scroll down, enter your email address, and we'll send us episodes straight to your inbox every week. And we are on Patreon. And we would love to see you join our private and judgment-free community. You can access lactation support from members, myself, and Dianne, our IBCLC. And you will hear about parenting topics from our podcast, our second podcast, Revolution Parenting. Patreon is the only place that you can access Revolution Parenting. And we talk about child development and boundaries and all kinds of parenting topics. You can also receive tons of parenting support in this community as well. And your membership helps fund evidence-based, no-nonsense parenting support here on the Badass Breastfeeding Podcast and at Revolution Parenting. You can head to the top link in the show notes under this episode, wherever you're listening from, and pick a tier that's good for you. We're also still hosting our ongoing giveaway for people who leave reviews around the internet, like on iTunes or Spotify. Even if you share it on your socials, take a screenshot of how you're helping us get the word out about the podcast. That's our goal here. And send that screenshot along with your address over to badassbreastfeedingpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll send you a goodie bag of Thank You for Nursing in Public cards and podcast stickers. We'll also send you a goodie bag if you send me a photo to share on social media at the same address. You can add a little bit about yourself or not. If you just want to share the photo, that's fine. I just love sharing breastfeeding photos into people's news feeds. And that's badassbreastfeedingpodcast@gmail.com. And before I forget, we are counting down to our 500th episode, which is next week.
Woohoo! I can't believe it.
I know. It's so exciting. And we have a special episode planned where we're just going to be talking about a whole bunch of different things. But we're counting down our top 10, or I don't even know what we're at now. But today we're coming in at number 5, and number 4 is a funny little pair because it is the first one. Oh, crap. Yeah. So number 5, number 5 is The First Days Home, which came out in 2022. And then number 4 is Breastfeeding During the First Days Home, which was our 5th episode ever.
Oh.
So that's also a very popular topic. First Days Home.
Wow. It should be.
Yes. I'm glad to see people are getting information about that. And now Diane has our review of the week.
Yes. And this goes along with what we're talking about today. It says, hello, Abby and Diane. And I say it like that because it's written HALLO, which I love.
Hello.
Because I do that. Hello. I do that with my kids all the time. And my son does it back to me. Hello. Because that's what Winnie the Pooh used to always say. Hello, Piglet. Hello.
We used to say that sarcastically in Amsterdam when somebody would get in our way. I say we. I did. Like I'd be riding my bike and then there would be somebody in the way and I'd be like, hello.
I love that. I have been listening to your podcast for over 5 years since my first baby, and now I'm on my second baby who is 10 months old. I can't begin to tell you how much I learned and how much you've helped me in my journey, so I will save it for another day. What I would like to ask, whether you could cover in a future episode, is Breastmilk Fortifiers. I first learned about this last week on a forum where a mom says her milk is not caloric enough and will be fortified. It sounds like a sneaky way to introduce formula and doubt into the lives of mom and baby, isn't it? Fine, I understand the need for it to do it for very small preterm babies as a kickstart. I used 5 days of formula for my own full-term baby to help me build up to fully latching. But what's in the fortifier? Is it formula? If so, why the fancy name instead of just saying supplementing? How is that free of risk? How do people know how much calories is in breast milk and how much to fortify? What is the guideline and how do they know at the NICU that that's exactly how much is needed? Hope you have time to cover this in an episode in the future. Thank you and love you, ladies. And this comes from Germany. And I thought we would talk about this today.
Those are all really excellent questions.
They really are.
It's like perfect questions because, yeah, exactly.
So we wanted to throw this into a episode and talk about like supplements and stuff too. But when people say that they're fortifying their breast milk, that is indeed adding like a breast milk fortifier or formula.
Well, what's a breast milk fortifier?
Breast milk fortifier could be like a human milk fortifier. Like they take human milk and they fortify it. They put more in it, put more stuff in it. Sometimes that's used for like in the NICUs and stuff like that. Breast milk fortifier. Can you like
buy that?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think that's strictly a hospital thing.
Oh, okay.
I know. And I think some of them are made by formula companies. So it's like, what's the point? But most of them are just formula that people just use formula and add it to breast milk.
Here, I just looked on Google. So I could buy this if I wanted.
Oh, you could?
Yeah. Human Milk Fortifier by Similac.
See? It's made by freaking formula.
Yeah. Packet liquid milk-based premature. $145. Interesting.
I know, isn't it?
So, I mean, I get using it in the NICU. If my baby was in the NICU, I would be like, just do what you got to do. You know?
I mean, it's common in the NICU to use a formula that is more calories and add it to breast milk. And that is supposed to boost the milk's caloric value.
Right.
Why they do it, like every once in a while, like when I worked at the pediatrician's office, sometimes if a baby wasn't gaining, that pediatrician would be like, add some formula to the breast milk. Why? I mean, why the fancy name instead of just saying supplementing? I don't know. Like, because basically that's what you're doing.
Right.
You're supplementing. So why not just, instead of adding it to your breast milk, why not just give an ounce of formula after the baby eats?
Yeah, it has some key features here. It says that the human milk fortifier, it's a nutritional supplement specifically designed to be added to human milk. It is not a standalone formula and must be mixed with breast milk before feeding. Targeted for premature and low birth weight infants, especially those that require additional protein, calories, vitamins, and minerals. Hydrolyzed protein, concentrated liquid form, nutritional enhancement, commercially sterile, clinically proven. Abbott states that the fortifier has been clinically proven to support gains in weight, length, and head circumference in premature babies. Oh, Abbott says that? Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. But calories in breast milk, there's 22 calories in breast milk. Somebody must have done the math along the way with how much calories is in breast milk. I know there's ways that they, can determine how much calories is in breast milk, but that's what we know of. I don't know how they came across that number. I don't know where it came from.
22 calories? Is that what you said?
22 calories in breast milk.
In how much breast milk? Oh, per ounce. Okay.
Ounce, yeah, of breast milk. So usually if you're fortifying it, you're just adding a little bit of formula to a bottle of breast milk, to like maybe two or 3 ounces of breast milk. You're adding just a little bit of formula. And when I say a little bit, I mean like half a teaspoon or a teaspoon, like something like that. It's not much.
Yeah.
And they're adding it in to add an extra like 20 calories or something to it. Is it free of risk? I mean, you're still adding formula in. So I don't know if that is free of risk. I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, especially if with a premature baby, they're saying that this is, you hear all the time, you hear about the formula recalls and all these problems. And yeah, it seems like adding risk to a very high risk situation when you have a premature baby.
Right.
Wouldn't we prefer like colostrum?
You would think.
Now, if you do like express your colostrum, you do the prenatal expression and you bring it to the hospital, will they then just use that instead of the fortifier?
Well, for like a preemie?
Yeah.
Well, you can't express your own colostrum until 36 weeks pregnant.
Oh,
so
right.
If the baby was born at 32 weeks,
sure,
you're not getting it.
Yeah. That they need to have colostrum banks.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I know, that would be cool. The other thing that's kind of risky with it, like if you're doing it at home, like if your parent, if your pediatrician says, like how she said, she saw this on a forum, milk is not caloric enough and will be fortified. That's somebody saying, oh, your breast milk doesn't have enough calories in it, which is bullshit, because that's just a stupid comment to make.
Right.
And breast milk and formula aren't that different calorically. There are some formulas that are like extra calories, though. Like there's a couple of them that are like extra calories, or like 24 ounce or 24 calorie formula or something instead of 20 or 22. So there is that. But if you're mixing it with your breast milk and the baby doesn't eat the whole thing, you've got to throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
You can't save it because you don't save formula that's already been, that you've already used.
Right.
Because it could breed bacteria. So it's dangerous. So we throw it away. So now you're throwing away good breast milk if your baby doesn't drink it all. So there's that to kind of consider as well.
Yeah.
So it really, she's got a great question here when she says, why the fancy name instead of just saying supplementing? It really is, I feel like, not much different than supplementing. So I don't know why the fancy name of saying, oh, I'm just going to fortify my breast milk.
Yeah, I guess it's just a slightly different thing where they're adding something. You're adding this fortifier to breast milk, and formula being a standalone food source. That's the only difference.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that I see, or I have seen, that I didn't understand when it came to fortifying is that people with preemies would leave the NICU fortifying their breast milk once or twice a day, giving a bottle of, fortified breast milk.
Mm-hmm.
And they do it for months and months. And it's well, once the baby's caught up on weight gain and they're 6 months old, why do you still need to do that?
Yeah.
And I remember asking a parent that, and she was like, they just never told me to stop.
That's the same with all the interventions that happen in the hospital. You go home and you don't know how to stop. That's exactly what happened to us with formula. Most people.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's
just okay, bye.
Do you need to do it forever? Why are we still doing it? The baby is 4 months old and caught up on weight gain. Why are we still doing it? It doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
So if you're fortifying breast milk right now and you're listening to this, ask how long you need to do it for. Because it's something that you might not need to do forever. And I had one parent one time who was doing once a day, adding half a teaspoon to her breast milk once a day. I'm what is that even doing?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can see how a super premature baby that might do something, but what's that going to do for a 6-month-old?
Right. I'm that's not doing anything anymore. So So there's a lot of questions about it. How much to fortify? I think I answered that. It's usually a teaspoon or two. What is the guideline and how do they know at the NICU that that's exactly how much is needed? That I don't know. I don't know how they determine in the NICU what is needed or how it's needed. It might just depend on how premature the baby is.
Probably depends on the doctor too.
Yeah. And it's not something that you can just you should just be randomly going around doing because if it's not done the right way, it can cause problems. It can cause the kidney overload and, stuff like that. If the baby is not if you're not doing it right, if you're giving too much formula in with the milk and it's not balanced out, then it could be, it could be causing problems. It could cause a problem for your baby. So it's definitely not something that you want to screw around with if you don't need to. This is where, if you have powdered milk, those companies that do powdered milk, this is where that would come in really handy for something like that. Because then you can just add your own milk, your own powdered milk to your breast milk, and you're just fortifying it with your own milk, which would be really handy and cool, I think. That's my personal opinion on that.
It's ideal if you have to do that.
Yeah. But it is not, fortifying breast milk is not something that needs to happen for your healthy full-term infant. If you have a healthy full-term infant that is not gaining weight well, you definitely want to see a lactation consultant to see why and what is going on. It's not, oh, your breast milk doesn't have enough calories. That's not a thing that happens. breast milk has the calories that it has, and that's not what's going on. There's something else going on there.
Let's take a break.
Oh, okay. Good idea.
We're going to talk about Original Sprout, who makes the vegan and paraben, phthalate, sulfate-free hair products, body products for babies and adults. And they are running a 50% off styling products with code BADASS26. And with the styling products, we're talking about the protein hair mist, the curl calmer hair gel styling balm, detangler for the whole family. They've got finishing mist, leave-in conditioners. Take advantage of this stuff because it's great. Dianne and I both use it. Mm-hmm. We're big fans of Original Sprout hair products. I use them every day. And 50% off is a deep discount for your styling products. So head over to originalsprout.com and use code BADASS26 on any of these styling products, and you will receive 50% off of your purchase. And you can head to badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com and find our sponsors over there. Along with our sponsors, you will find our other episodes, almost 500 of our other episodes, our favorite resources page, which people keep trying to add to. I keep getting emails from people that are like, can I add this to your resources page? No, you cannot.
No, people.
They're there. Those are our favorite resources. The end.
F off.
And yeah. And you can find information about scheduling your very own one-on-one online lactation consultation with Dianne, which if you're having an issue, if you think you have low milk supply or you think you have whatever with your healthy baby, and you're like, oh, I need like cookies or I need some sort of fortifier or a supplement or something, or tea or any of these pills, if somebody at some point, especially with these cookies and the tea or whatever, and people are like, oh, well, I did it and it really helped my supply. All right. I'm not going to argue with people. Okay. If that was your experience, that was your experience. There's no science to support that, but everyone's got their own lived experiences. That's fine. Except if you have a problem and you have your low milk supply or you feel like something's wrong, that's not going to address the issue. Because it's not just like, oh, well, I needed a little bit of a supplement to make more milk. That's not how milk is made. Milk is made by being expressed from your breast and fed to a baby. Or whatever. I guess you can express it and throw it down the drain if you want. But emptying your breast. Like, you have to figure out why your baby's not getting the milk out for low supply issues. So, I guess we've kind of turned the corner into other supplements.
Yes. Yeah. We wanted to talk about other supplements today too. No, that is an absolute correct statement. Like, we need to find out, like, if there is indeed low supply, why? Is it something that is going on with the baby? Are they not draining the breast well, which causes a low milk supply? Are they not feeding well? Or is it something like actually hormonal with the parent, or something like insufficient glandular tissue, something like that? If your baby isn't gaining well, sometimes people are like, oh, here, take this. Like Abby said, they'll be like, I took this fenugreek and it worked really well for me. Take this and, you'll make more milk and the baby will gain more weight. that isn't necessarily what's going to happen. We need to determine why your baby isn't gaining the weight, if that's the situation, or why you have a low milk supply, if you do have low milk supply, because it's not going to fix it if there's a medical issue. Herbals people just think that like herbals will fix it when it's like a low milk supply issue, and that is just not necessarily the case. There's not a lot of science behind it. And they're not just, a lot of times people think that they're harmless because they're herbals.
Yeah.
And they're harmless. And that's not necessarily the case either. So what we're talking about is called Galactagogues. And Galactagogues can be like herbals or food-based. What it is anything that is believed to increase your milk supply. And they could be like a prescription medication. There is prescription medications that do increase milk supply, hormonal therapies. But we wanted to talk about actual supplements because that's what we were kind of talking about with the
fortifiers.
Yeah, with the fortifiers. So your first line of defense should not be, oh, I don't think I'm making enough milk. Let me go to an herbal or let me go to a supplement. That should not be your first line of defense. Your first line of defense should be, let me talk to a lactation consultant and see what's going on. Fenugreek is the most common herbal supplement, but it is not one that should be used to increase milk supply, believe it or not. It is not the best supported. It's just probably the best well-known.
Mm.
The evidence that comes with it is very inconsistent. A few small studies show benefit. A lot of the studies that are done with herbals are done with premature babies and under those situations. So it's not even like the research is not strong at all. May cause stomach upset. That's the other thing. There's side effects that go along with these herbals, and people just don't realize that. They just think, like I said, that they're natural and they're harmless to use, but they can cause stomach upset in the parent and the baby, which is not something that you want. If you have asthma, it can make it worse. It can lower blood sugar. It can interact with other medications that you might be taking for real medical problems. It should be avoided if you have allergies like peanut allergies or chickpeas allergies, anything like that, other beans, because it's a possible cross reactivity. So you do need to be cautious about that if you have any allergies. Moringa is probably one of the better studied herbs, and more high quality research is needed, but some studies that have been done have shown increases in milk volume, again, especially with mothers of preterm infants. I don't know why they always look at preterm infants, but they just do. So Moringa, if a parent is taking that and they're already taking it, I'm like, well, do you have any allergies? Are you taking medication for anything else? And if they say no, then, if they want to take it, but there's no guarantees that anything is going to happen either. Go through is another one. It's popular that for parents that have insufficient glandular tissue and diabetes. Again, evidence is very anecdotal. So this is very these just don't have much evidence behind them. Blessed thistle, often sold with fenugreek. A lot of these herbals go together. Again, very limited evidence. Milk thistle is another one. Another thing that people like to go towards is things like lactation cookies, and that are made with oats and brewer's yeast and flaxseed, and they're very, very popular. But again, there's no research behind it. A lot of this is placebo effect. And when we say placebo effect, that is when it's like kind of, you take the medication or you eat the cookie and you're like, oh my gosh, I think my milk supply, the baby started gaining weight well, and I, was pumping more milk. That could be that you're feeling more confident. You're taking this medication, you're taking this herbal, you're eating these cookies with all these ingredients that are supposedly, milk making ingredients. I'm using the little air quotes. But it's not necessarily those things that are doing it. It's that you feel more confident. Maybe you're feeding more frequently. A lot of times when people start these things, they also start feeding more frequently, maybe feeding on demand more. They're pumping more. They're adding more stimulation in as well, which is probably what caused the increase in the milk supply, not necessarily the medications or the herbals or the cookies. So a lot of it could be more of a placebo effect. You could feel less stress behind it. If you're like, oh my gosh, that my friend ate these cookies, it worked for her, I'm going to do this too. And then you feel less stress. So it's like it adds to, and we just did an episode on how stress can, what stress does with breastfeeding. Maybe you're feeling more comfortable with it. You're feeling more confident. It's hard to determine, was it the cookie or was it all the other things that you did along with the cookie?
Well, as far as the cookie goes, it doesn't make logical sense, right? Because milk's not made from the contents of your stomach.
Right.
So how would it boost supply anyway?
I don't know if any of these foods have any kind of hormonal benefit to them. Or what? I mean,
it could be that maybe you weren't eating enough before, and not that eating more or drinking more water increases milk supply, but it could help balance your hormones. Yeah. It could help you, feel a little bit better if you weren't getting enough calories before.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would never tell somebody not to eat cookies. That's ridiculous. Eat cookies. And yep. if you find one that you like and it's making you, and they're easy to eat, while you're nursing, it's not like having to, a meal where you need two hands and you're like, oh, well, I can't eat right now, I'm nursing. You can just have them right there and be eating them, and they're going to be, getting enough food for all kinds of reasons is important.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we're not. Sometimes we're trapped in the whole postpartum, oh, I shouldn't eat too much. I need to get my body back. Oh, I missed a meal. That's good. That's just less calories that I'm eating.
Yeah.
You need more calories right now than ever.
Yeah. So definitely, it's not going to hurt you to eat the cookie. It's not going to
hurt. But if that's the issue, if there's an issue with a true issue with milk supply, then you need to get help with that issue.
Yeah. The supplements, the other thing with supplements is that they are not regulated like medications are. So they could be variations in the ingredients. Even if you're using the same brand, there could be a variation in ingredients. So you have to be really cautious about that and kind of give that to some consideration as well. There could be contamination there. There could be incorrect labeling. The dosages could be different. You have to really be cautious about it and make sure that you're choosing reputable manufacturers and you're not just going with whatever. Supplements will not help you if your low supply is due to things like a poor latch or infrequent feedings, retained placenta or blood loss, hormonal disorders or thyroid issues or insufficient glandular tissue, breast surgery, any of that stuff. Don't expect a cookie or a supplement to help with any of those things. We need to determine what is causing the low milk supply before we jump into, hey, let's take this medication. Let's take this herbal. You definitely want to talk to a lactation consultant if you are concerned about your milk supply, because milk removal is the strongest driver of milk production. We know that to be true. We can't just eat a cookie or take some fenugreek and just sit on the couch and hope that your body is just going to like splurge all this milk out. Like it's not going to work like that. So we want to make sure that you are removing the milk because that is the strongest driver of milk production, either feeding your baby very consistently or pumping if you're separated from your baby. Those are the things that's going to cause your supply to increase. And just remember that these products can have side effects. So they're not without risk. Absolutely not without risk. So you definitely want to be cautious when you're using them. And if somebody like recommends it, if you're on one of those forums or whatever, or Reddit or something like that, and it's recommended to use them, like people don't know what your medical history is. And you do need to be really cautious about your own medical history when doing anything like this. It's really, I have thyroid issues, and thyroid issues can interfere with all this sorts of stuff. So if anybody, like my sister gave me these green tea herbal pills because she couldn't take them because they were high in caffeine or something like that. So I was like, oh, I'll try them. And they're supposed to be good for your health and good for like all this other stuff. But I have to like research this stuff and make sure that it doesn't interfere with my thyroid medication.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff does interfere when it comes to herbal remedies. You can't just think that it's safe all around just because it's something that grows from the ground.
Right.
You have to be really cautious. But yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you for listening.
Thank you. Bye.
We'll see you next week for our 500th episode.
500 episodes. Thank you for being with us for all these episodes.
Bye.
Bye.